Mondays with Sam. I'm your host, Sam.
And I'm your assistant host, second in command, first mate, whatever denigrating
Gilligan.
thought process you might have there. That's me. Yeah, a lesser title. You're executive vice president, and I'm
Why am I
associate
executive vice president? I can't even just be president?
No, that there's in these fancy companies, there's no real president. Yeah, they're like just like a figurehead. It's the executive vice. It's like they're all vice presidents of different levels.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you have the most, and I'm the least.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah.
It's the little things that help get through the day.
Exactly. Do you really want to be president?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. You don't want to be.
No.
Anyway, speaking of things we don't want.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies that we hate.
We are. That's the theme today. Movies we hate.
Yeah. And we went two different directions. Mainly because Sam adhered to the prompt, Sam being her, adhered to the prompt, Samantha Samuel, just for clarity's sake.
Oh, yeah. Samantha Samuel.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm not Samantha Samuel.
No. You're only one of those two. Yeah. It's not a hyphen. But yes, so you came up with a prompt, and I just maybe 30 seconds ago let you know that I'm going to go elsewhere with the prompt.
Which just falls in line with our always every week prompt, is that everybody's brain
works a little bit different.
Exactly.
Yeah. The you've 3 movies and I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should go first.
Okay.
And also that way we can set the stage for what this was supposed to look like before I take it sideways.
All right. So the first movie...
It's not going to be that sideways, just to let you know. Yeah. Just a little bit.
The first movie that I absolutely hate, is The Family Stone. First, have you seen this movie?
I don't know if I have. I might have. I feel like this is a movie that I've seen parts of. Is it like one of those like ensemble casts, like the Wilsons
There's
are in it
so
or something
many people
like that?
in it. Yeah.
Isn't like Luke Wilson in it or something? And
I think so. I'm so terrible. You've got your phone. I'm okay if you want to look up the cast, because I will be terrible at remembering who's in it. I know Sarah Jessica Parker's in it, but yeah, it is an ensemble cast.
You can just cut this out. Yeah, exactly. Trim this out.
Nah.
No, yeah, while I'm looking through this here.
Well,
okay, so The Family Stone. Tell me why you hate it.
I will.
Well,
First of all,
I tell you why you love it just by reading and not looking. Yeah.
Well, just so that you can have a view of who the cast is and stuff.
Oh, I've seen this like way back then. Yeah, Kelly was really into this movie back in the day. Yeah, obviously, that's my wife.
Red flag.
Yeah, that strikes 2 and 3 right there.
That's a pretty heavy strike. So there's a lot of different layers to why I hate The Family Stone. First, it's set up during Christmas time. People come for Christmas, so people watch it during Christmas. So people say this is a holiday movie.
So it's already anti-Semitic and Islamophobic. I got it. Yeah. I get it. No.
The theme of the movie, I don't think, is Christmas themed. Like, when I see a Christmas themed movie or, a loosely veiled, they're not calling it Christmas, it's just holiday, but the only holiday being acknowledged is Christmas, just no one's saying it. Which Hallmark, I'll give them credit, does an incredible job at doing Christmas-only movies without using the word Christmas. They'll do a whole movie and be like, it's almost that time of year, and it's like, it's just shots of trees and presents, and Santa Clauses are everywhere.
Now the question is that the war on Christmas, or is that supporting Christmas? Because I could see it taken both ways. I don't really know. Yeah, it seems like because you're like Christmas homogeneity, like it's just like whitewashing literally, or is it is it something where it's like, oh, we're not talking about Christmas, shush, hush, hush, don't do it.
I don't know. That's we've got some December dates. We'll talk about that.
We'll circle back to the war on Christmas later on. Yeah.
Some of the issues I have, and that's why it actually might be good if you have the cast, because then I can say like who the people are. So the Sarah Jessica.
You should know the cast, but yeah.
Why? I hate this movie.
You.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
It's got a really great cast. I'm going to tell you right now.
And it's a terrible movie. Okay.
It's loaded.
So the premise of that movie is
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, Diane Keaton's in there.
Yeah.
Cancer. She kicks that bucket before the end of the movie.
You got to give a little bit more time before you say spoiler.
I said spoiler, and then I paused, and
we'll play it back. It's not going to be. There's not going to be a pause. Yeah.
There was enough time. So it's an old movie too. Like
Yeah, 2005, almost 20 years. Yeah,
ouch.
it's been a while.
Right. So people love this movie. They grew up with it. So okay, let me get to so many of the issues. So Sarah Jessica Parker is the girlfriend of one of the brothers, and everybody in this movie is, by all definition, an adult. This isn't about kids or like the magic of Christmas time. So
I remember this movie now.
Yeah. Right. So one of the adult brothers from I have no idea where this takes place. Let's say this takes place in Connecticut. He's from New York.
It always takes place in Connecticut.
Exactly. It always takes place in Connecticut. Yeah. So, or upstate New York. But anyway, he's coming home for the holidays.
It's the Hamptons, but they don't say it's the Hamptons. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember if they know he has a girlfriend or not, but I don't think that's the big shock. Like, I think they know he's bringing someone home. Yeah, so I guess they do know. And he, first of all, he's supposed to be so in love with her. Like, he's like, I'm going to propose to her.
This is the one.
Yeah. I say that so like, blah, even though I'm getting married, because I don't believe it. First of all, they're acting.
I don't believe in marriage either.
No, okay, get out of here. Their love, at no point does it read for me. They literally just look like two people who are like.
Do you think that's by design?
No, I think that when you get sub issue, I think when you have an all-star cast like that, I honestly think they're all like, we don't need to act that well because like we're all.
Which person is, because
they're supposed to be deeply in love. There's no.
I look at the two men here, and the two men are two people who always appear like they have average chemistry with everyone, which is Dermot Mulroney and Luke Wilson. And
I need to see their pictures so I remember who.
They are always people that have like, they're charming and that's it.
We can't cut this out because I'm gonna have to look at their face because you know who these people are. I need to look at their faces.
Yeah,
great. Okay, so this is gonna be helpful.
This is your movie, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't remember everybody's faces. And I've told you, and everyone, I, for some reason, feel that every person I know is going to end up on some sort of game show where it's the $1 million question of, like, name the celebrity, and they will call me. And I have put PSAs out to everyone. I'm like, no, you'll lose. I don't know anybody's name.
Yeah. No.
Which I also understand the absolute terrible irony of pursuing being recognized by my name, and I cannot for the life of me.
And the low probability of a Jeopardy game in which you can call somebody.
Well, because I like what was that Taxi?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, that fad, but then not Taxi Cab Confessions. But there was that guy who drove around in New York, and it was like it was like a game show in his taxi.
Are you talking about the Bang Bus?
Ew! Oh my god! Like that. Not during the Family Stone, Sam. Ew! And now I've just learned too much about you. No, I wasn't talking about that. Okay.
Listen, I know about.
I don't want to know what you know.
I know about plenty of pornographic genres that I do not watch. Yeah,
oh my god!
I'm a culture man, even if I don't experience the culture.
I'm just so embarrassed that you even said that. This is a wholesome show. No, whatever. We'll look that up second. There was a taxi cab.
Don't look up that.
I'm not gonna. No, we're not. Yeah. Can I get back to the Family Stone?
This is probably the best Rotten Tomatoes review. If you could just type this out, this would be so great. Anyway, continue. Okay, so there's a movie.
Dermot Mulroney's character.
I'll eat so I can stop interrupting
Everett,
you.
Please, put some there. Everett Stone comes home for Christmas, and it's purported to be probably his mom's last Christmas. But again, they're pretty subtle about that. Like, I wish that was more pushed. There are a lot of things that I would have been more on board with. If there was at least a stronger tone that, like, mom's dying, like, this needs to be a good.
Do you even know Christmas. What she's dying of? Or is it like Hallmark movies where they don't talk about what she's dying of?
I'm just going to think cancer. I don't know. No, I don't think you do. You don't.
It is from an era where sick meant cancer, but we never said the C word.
I think that's it. Yeah, mom's sick with something that we can't talk about, and it's bad. Like, mom should be in hospice care, but she needs.
Or an AIDS-related illness. I don't know.
Okay, so... Oh my god. So Everett Stone, Dermot Mulroney, brings home Sarah Jessica Parker, Meredith Morton, to meet his family for the first time at Christmas. Also, side note, don't introduce your partner for the first time to your entire family on Christmas. Veto, whatever. You can have a different opinion, but you're still eating, so you can't say it. Also, they show up like 2 days before or the day before. The time span... Oh, this mic just unplugged. You see, the universe is telling you not to talk right now. So... Oh my god. Well, now...
There you go.
This is just my podcast now. Oh, your lights are... Okay, I'm going to go back to my synopsis. He brings home Sarah Jessica Parker, and right away, no one likes her right off the bat, which I feel, that's probably the worst I feel for her character the whole movie. Just off the bat, they don't... Diane Keaton just is like, this trash.
Sarah Jessica Parker does have an unlikable face.
She does have an unlikable face. You know what? She came in with high anxiety vibes. Not that like justifies, but she came in very like...
That's usually what happens with her. That's her character. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone was playing the exact character that they could play in any movie. So she comes home. Rachel McAdams is in my opinion, the bisexual sister. I think she just doesn't explore it. But she's pitted as this like artsy, not full burnout, but just the artsy daughter. Luke Wilson is the brother. Claire Danes is the sister to Sarah Jessica Parker. So at one point, SJP is like, I don't think the family likes me. And she calls her sister and says, I don't think the family likes me. You know how people are with me. She's like, so you know you're unlikable.
Yikes, that's terrible.
She calls Claire Danes, her sister.
Really bad.
That is really bad. Before Christmas, if you just knew how bad the mic thing was before we started, it's just gone downhill. She calls Claire and she says, you have to come to this Christmas because they need to know that someone likes me. So she also invites an extra person to her boyfriend's family's house who they've never met.
But it's her sister, right?
It is her sister, but still, like, I think Diane Keaton plans accordingly for the folks in attendance. So also Rachel McAdams has this lovable goofball ex-boyfriend who she's like, oh my god, he's too there for me. He's always available to... Do we need to listen to this? Do we need to do a sharesies?
I don't know. This thing is not working here.
I don't know what just happened. Okay, Sam's gonna futz around. I'm gonna just try and get through why I hate this movie.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
We're doing a wire change here.
Wire tap. So she brings in her sister. The sister gets picked up at the train station, or the bus station. That's right, because that's real romantic. By Dermot.
This is so loud. I'm so sorry. Just give me a second.
Oh my god.
You know what? I would say this is showbiz, but this is just me.
I don't think that, yeah. So Dermot Mulroney picks up the sister. I'm like jumping a whole lot of steps here. And
this is amazing. Everything about this.
When he picks her up.
This makes this movie so much more chaotic in my eyes.
This movie is chaotic. Dermot Mulroney has more chemistry immediately with Claire Danes. And like, obviously, that's kind of the natural progression of like, oh, wow. But
didn't they already fuck beforehand?
No, they've never met before.
Oh, I thought they had. I thought that was the whole deal.
No. So he meets her and he's like, oh my god, we have so much in common. We can have these long conversations. I've never had a conversation with your sister before. Then Sarah Jessica Parker makes what looks like one of the most disgusting breakfast meals ever. And she's like, there you go.
Got it.
She goes, oh, my mother used to make this for breakfast every Christmas, even though I had a bad childhood. Again, there's a lot of loose references that no one ever...
We don't know why she had a bad childhood.
Yeah, Diane Keaton is sick.
Bad childhood, yeah.
Was it that bad? Was your mom working? Like, I don't know. Like, why are you blaming her?
I mean, maybe,
no mention of the dad.
I mean, it could have been terrible. I mean, maybe
it could have, but it could have also just been average.
It could have been, but maybe there's no mention of the dad because mom killed the dad. And that was like, I had a really bad childhood. My mom murdered my dad in front of me.
But she always made this disgusting breakfast on Christmas.
They did, yeah.
So she says like,
she started making it the Christmas she killed him.
Oh my god, it's a lot of memories. So she says like that she's a bad cook, but this is the one thing she can make. And I also hate when adult characters are written that way, that they are just incompetent in the kitchen, that they can't cook anything. They can cook one thing, and that's what they live or die off of. That's it. That's the one thing.
And it's extravagantly, ridiculously terrible.
Yeah, like it's not even good. And it's like, you've been making the same thing for at least 20 years, and it's been awful every time.
It's been gross across the board.
So at one point, she goes to take it out of the oven, and there's just chaos in the kitchen, and the whole thing spills on her, and she's like, oh my god, like, you've ruined my breakfast. I was going to serve it to you. And the freaking Amy Adams character is like, well, it looked like trash anyway.
Good.
Rachel Adams, Amy Adams?
Rachel McAdams.
Who cares? So there's so much chaos. Then, okay, there is a family dinner where the other brother, there's too many kids in this movie who are all adults. Tyrone Giordano, Thad Stone, also a terrible name.
Thaddeus.
Yeah, well, it's listed as Thad, okay? They don't ever drop the full Thaddeus.
It was implied, much like the AIDS-related illness.
So they also have a very, very uncomfortable conversation at a pre-Christmas dinner, lunch, breakfast, nondescript meal.
Yeah.
Where,
that's still in the name of Jesus, obviously.
So Thad's character is gay, and the movie is not about, like, oh, how do the parents fit? No, he's just a gay character. But this is important because, remember, Sarah Jessica Parker just met this family.
Mm.
She has the audacity to say to his parents in front of his entire supportive siblings, there's not one sib who's like, side-eye.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, no, it's literally no big deal. Like,
right. Yeah, we're like, this is just the thing. This is our brother.
She says something to the effect of like, I would literally hate to have a gay child. And then, to the credit of the writers, both of his parents kind of tried to diffuse that without directly addressing it. The mother, Diane King character says, actually, I wish all my children were gay because they're better or more, like, she tries to make something of like, I'm going to give you a pass to try and just make everyone else feel comfortable.
Give a little bit of levity to kind of skate around to the situation a tiny bit. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
What does SJP do? Fucking doubles down and is like, why would you ever wish that your children were gay? She's never met these parents before. And it's Christmas time and the mom is sick with something.
About to be the family stoning.
I wish. So then the dad goes into this, they wrote some really great monologue where I think it's the dad who says it, and essentially it's just like, that's an incredibly bigoted thing to say, and like, what is wrong with you, and how dare you make my son feel uncomfortable in his home, at his table? You are a guest. You are not in this. Like, as he should.
I got it, yeah. I'm just kidding. That's how they clearly wrote it, which is fine, but yeah.
Yeah, like, this movie is riddled with tropes that all sarcasm.
It's 2005. I get it. I see where, what's happening.
So that moment is good, but like, the lead up, I'm just like, why was this even a part? What, like, in what universe does someone who's never met someone's parents, who's an adult, is coming to meet them with someone who's theoretically supposed to be getting married? Like, by the way, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I really want you to know, and I want to make sure you've heard me, because I'm going to say it twice. I would never want my kid to be gay. Ever. Did you hear that? I'm going to say it again. That happens. All these reasons why I don't like it. Then.
I didn't know that about you, Sam.
Get out of here. Then. At some point, Sarah Jessica Parker gets drunk. And she's like, no one likes me in this family. And they're like, well, you're not very friendly. And your food is gross. And you said some pretty bad things about my brother.
You are generally unlikable. Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, yeah, you quickly lose spirit for SJP. You're like, listen, I think they're being meaner than they need to, but also you're
Yeah.
You're not even good. Maybe. And this is all before she insults the brother. That I think that they're being meaner than they need to. Like,
yeah.
She sleeps with her boyfriend's brother.
Right.
Then her boyfriend is like, oh, I'm not as mad as I should be. I'm actually just realized in 2 days of knowing your sister, he came with a ring, mind you.
Yeah, then I want to be with your sister.
Well, I want to be with your sister. Then, in all of this mess up, cool. Again, Diane Keaton, underlying sickness.
Yeah.
Always references like, do you need to lie down because of your sickness?
Yeah.
Rachel it's my cheat sheet. Rachel McAdams somehow gets pushed back with the ex-boyfriend, and she realizes he's a great guy.
Really?
Yeah. And he actually was not like chasing her the way that he would when he would show up at the house because he was called by her mom. She's like, "Oh my God, are you here for me?" He's like, "No."
Yeah, this is like, I'm here to help your mom.
Yeah, I'm here to help your mom with something because she's got the illness.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
And anytime they run into it, she's like, "Oh, is it because of me?" And he was just, I still think you're great, but you've been clear you don't want me, so like, no.
We're cool.
Yeah, have a good one.
Peace out.
Maybe I'll smile a little longer at you. Like, he's the only one who I believe that there is some affection, but he wasn't written as this like stalkery ex who you just can't get rid of. But she's like, oh my God, there he is again. And it's like he's buying groceries at the one grocery store in this small. Yeah. Like,
there he is.
But here you are.
Needing to eat again. Yeah. Fucking asshole.
But her eyes are opened and she's like, oh, this is great. Then Sarah Jessica Parker again misses the mark. It's Christmas morning. Okay. And she blows up a picture of who she thinks is her boyfriend. Remember, at this time, she's already cheated on him with her boyfriend's brother. So everybody's there. The boyfriend's brother, who's had sex with SJP's sister, who kisses her boyfriend, but they don't do the deed.
Right.
The ex-boyfriend to Rachel McAdams, the gay brother, the dad, and the illness mom.
Yeah.
So she presents to her what she thinks is a picture of her boyfriend and Diane Keaton.
And
mom.
It's really the brother.
It is the brother, the gay brother, who she insulted and said, I would never want my children to be gay.
I love it. That's good.
And the most unbelievable thing, after all of this cacophony happens.
Yeah.
So the movie ends 1 year later. Mm-hmm. Everyone comes back.
Except for Diane Keaton, because she's dead.
Yeah. Very dead. And I just and they're all smiles. I just like, are you kidding me? SJP has slept with both. Two of the three brothers, has just maligned the right of existence of the third brother.
Yeah.
Her sister, her ex-boyfriend has slept with her and her sister. He is now engaged to the sister.
Had a kid.
And Rachel McAdams is like, oh, I'm back with my ex-boyfriend who actually has a stable job, has a good mental health record, and is emotionally, but like, still just like a working artist, but like she still found someone else to supplement her. Like, I just want to, gonna paint walls.
Her histrionic existence. Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Well, and so I hate it. I hate it. There's nothing about it feels warm and uplifting. Like, they try and paint it. Look, a year later, we all came back.
Sounds like the only person who really got a sweet deal is
Diane Keaton. Yeah.
Offed it. Yeah.
And Diane, of course, is wearing her giant skirts and belts up to her nose, and the biggest belt she can find.
That's her look. Yeah.
Yeah, or pants, but again, same they're just as high as they can go.
Yeah, it's the same exact
and it looks great. Like, she's got her style down, but
it's all always white or cream, always black.
Yes.
Yeah, always, yeah.
It is classic, but I think it's now one of those things, it's so classic that's like, I'm going to poke some fun at it. Cause she'll never change.
No, absolutely not. But hey, that's
good
okay.
for her. Yeah. I hate it. I hate this movie. From the recap I've given you.
They say that trauma is when the brain stunts itself and arrests, and it makes sense that she hasn't been able to change her outfit since Annie Hall.
Wow. Okay, we went there.
Sometimes you have to. You know?
Now that your mic's working again, you're really...
now that that's great. I love that. That's good.
I hate that movie.
Nothing
about that movie, even as a Jew, nothing about that movie screams Christmas time.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I love, listen,
Yeah.
I love holiday flicks of all sorts. I hate this. And the other reason I really hate this movie is because so many people love this movie. And they are like, it's not Christmas without watching The Family Stone.
Sounds like we shouldn't have Christmas. I'm all about that.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
All right, so my movies here. Do you want to feel bad for me or dislike me first?
I want to dislike you. Counter, do you want me right in the middle to drop my mic, take a phone call, or open a drawer?
All three.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So you dislike me first.
Yeah.
Okay. So the movies I hate here, I generally like most movies. So more of my hatred, it relates to the experience of the movies here, and more so relates to something self-loathing.
Okay.
Yeah. So the movie that I choose first is Deck the Halls. And the reason why Deck the Halls, if you don't know, and it really, or not Deck the Halls, sorry, Deck the Halls is, no, it is Deck the Halls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deck the Halls is with Matthew Broderick and,
you know what, wait, I'll look it up.
What's the other fuck faces?
Look it up.
It's, so anyway, Matthew Broderick and, I just started putting Deck Broderick.
We know what you want to do with that movie.
Exactly. Is a 2006 flick with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, and they are neighbors across the way, and they essentially end up outdoing each other in Christmas decorations.
Right.
And it is incredibly cartoonish.
But that's how you prove you love Jesus.
I don't think Jesus gets mentioned once there, unless it's Jesus fucking Christ as they're like falling up the roof or something like that, you know? So anyway, they're like doing all these things, but this is how cartoonish it is.
Okay.
Is they're kind of like, they're besting each other, they're one-upping each other, more and more lights, more and more whatever. And then in the last, or in one of the final scenes where somebody puts on their full light display, they have like one of those satellite maps of the United, or the world, where it's all like the lights of the different cities, and you see like, you know, New York and upper New Jersey and everything is so lightly, and then, you know, whatever in the Midwest, not so much. And then they have this beam of light shooting out, like traversing the already three-dimensional whatever to create this like other three-dimensional space in a different way coming out. That's just so cartoonish and ridiculous. Amazing. But the reason why I hate this movie is why I ended up seeing this movie. And the reason why I ended up seeing this movie is because I'm an idiot. Okay. So it came out in 2006, so I was 17 at the time. And I went there with my best friend Nate and my brother Seth. Of course, Seth was not old enough to go to rated R movies at the time, and they wouldn't sell him a ticket to the movie Blood Diamond, which was also in theaters that Nate and Seth wanted to see. So we bought tickets for Deck the Halls. But me, being so internally bound and preoccupied, I will break more rules at this time. Not a lot.
I was like, I bet this was a rule.
I'm a big time rule follower. It's not intentional. I know it's a problem, which is why I'm sharing how much I hate myself with this here. But I would not sneak into Blood Diamond, even though that was kind of like our thought process that we might do that. When we got there, I just got too like whatever and would not do it. So I made Nate.
What did you think was the worst thing was going to happen to you if you snuck into Blood Diamond?
That we'd get kicked out. Yeah, but. And I'd be like somewhat
on some list.
I'd be somewhat okay if like Nate and I were just like doing it and got kicked out, because we used to like fuck around and do all sorts of stupid shit everywhere. But my brother was there, and it just like had this, which is stupid. He's 15; it should not have been an issue. Anyway, I made them sit through this fucking movie.
Oh my god!
As Blood Diamond was playing all the way.
Can you hear it? Was it one of those theaters where...
No, you can't hear it, but you know it's happening.
Right,
I mean, it's obviously there.
Yeah.
And as this bullshitness continued to escalate to like going from like, it would be fine if it was like just like a cartoonish type Christmas movie, like Jingle All the Way or the Santa Claus or whatever, stuff like that.
Santa Claus is a classic. Love that movie.
But it's not. It's not like that. It's like a parody of something like that.
Oof.
I know. And it has like supposedly a decent cast, so that should be okay. It was not. It was terrible. And Nate has had to be put through a whole lot of nonsense on my end, but this has to take the cake as the worst one. One time in college, like I forget, for my birthday, Nate just gave me a tape of Deck the Halls. Like, found, yeah, I
That's
know.
funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And that's also a reminder of like, you didn't want to traumatize me by sneaking into a movie we wanted to see. So instead, I am forever traumatized by the movie you made me see.
Yeah. And
just like, a little reminder, just like, here you go, I carry this with me still.
Absolutely. It was so much worse. It was so much of a worse experience because of this. So, like, the moral of the story is, like, break some rules. Like, don't murder people. Don't, like, those are rules not to break, definitely. Yeah, but, like, sneak into a different type of movie, if you paid for the same ticket and they're not making any whatever, do it.
Yeah.
Kids, do it. Don't be 17-year-old Sam. It's embarrassing. And luckily Nate still loves me, you know, but could have gone either way at that point in time. Yeah.
Did you ever end up seeing Blood Diamond?
I've never seen Blood Diamond.
I have seen Blood Diamond. I did not see it in theaters. It took me 3 different instances to finish the movie because of how violent I found the movie to be. And as I watched it in these segments, I kept thinking, I don't know how anybody could sit through and watch it in theaters. Like there's violence, there's graphic drug use, like intravenous drug use, which is like, yeah, I like that movie. It's fake. Yeah, but movies do a really good job. Like that's the whole point. We go so that we can feel like it is happening in front of us. And I was just like, oh my God. And there's like child warfare. I mean, it was one of the hardest movies to watch.
Oh, totally.
For me, and I don't know how people watched it in theaters or can even just sit, like when you're like, you know what, let's rewatch a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how you just casually...
Yeah.
Let's just rewatch Blood Diamond.
But yeah, no, I've never seen it. Still to this day. Yeah.
I guess
I've never seen Deck the Halls again either. Like, it still plays vividly in my brain, but that's a different story.
I think from as good a job I did as retelling A Family Stone, I clearly only saw that one the one time.
Yeah, well...
But it's awful.
Horrific. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. You want me to tell my next one, or you want to go?
My next one's a lot shorter of the why.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's The Impossibles. The Invincibles. The Impossibles.
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles. Whoever they are. The Incredibles. I hate that movie because full disclosure, I've never finished the movie. But I have tried on 5 different occasions and it just puts me to sleep.
Clearly not very, very hard because you misnamed it several times.
I'll just prove that I hate it. I've tried watching it, like, first thing, wake up. I'm like, okay, I'm awake. Coffee. I'm going to finish this. Puts me back to sleep. Midday, later in the day, evening, like, prime movie time. I think I hate it because, to me, there's something about it that must be really boring. Like, I can't get into it. And everyone loves it so much. And they're like, it's such a good movie. And
it is.
If I ever felt that I had developed insomnia, I'll just turn on Incredibles.
Well, that would be great because either you'd fall asleep or you'd finish a great movie.
I will probably fall asleep.
This is one of the worst things I've ever heard about you. This is a good movie.
I disagree. I hate that movie.
Well, that movie hates you.
Well, it's never gotten all the way through, so...
They're superheroes and they'll get you when you least expect it.
Yeah, I understand they're superheroes. I got that part. I do like some of the clips and the sound bites that I myself have used on TikTok from the movie.
That is blasphemous.
But I don't...
You come here and you
like
talk
the Edna
about...
character, I like the clips, the little clips I see. of her.
I can imagine you being kind of like her as a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, which is funny. Which is also like, I thought first when you were saying I hate this movie, I was like, it's because you're in it. I don't know what's happening.
No, I know that.
I can imagine.
The older I get, the more I'm like, me and Edna got a lot in common.
The reason why you hate The Incredibles is because like the four of them are the four of you, your core family unit growing up.
Oh my god.
The little kids, Benji. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. No, I just didn't. No, I just didn't like it, so I hate it.
Well,
that's
sucks to suck.
As The Incredibles do. Okay, so now to feel sorry for you.
So, to preface this, I've dealt
with great life.
I have had a great
high income.
Yes.
You're in love.
Well.
Healthy family.
Well,
live in a beautiful town.
Let's not get crazy. Yeah. I do live in a beautiful place. Let's not get carried away with the love thing. But I no, it's Kelly. I love you. Anyway, I've dealt with existential OCD since I was very, very young. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's like compulsive rumination surrounding a fear of death and dying and any type of existential thought process for as long as I can remember. So like Max started asking me like, do all people die? And you can see all these existential questions starting to happen, and it worries me that it's just gonna.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens there. Anyway, the point being, I've been a scared little bitch for a long time. Okay. And because I've been such an anxious, scared little kid for as long as I was, this is something that really sticks in mind. So, Mac and Me, if you don't know, is basically. I'm going to butcher the premise of the movie as it really doesn't matter, but it's like an alien who ends up, I think, coming down, and he's like a good, fun alien. Like he like gets into trouble and some
just your classic like fun alien.
But he is like if I showed you like the trailer right now, like I think like this is like it's like E.T. but like kind of has like a musical element. It's just like a weird kind of like hijinks fun thing. It's like. No, it's like but it's real life people, but it was made in like the 80s, 90s, and so it has like that kind of weird like the monsters in like or aliens in like Men in Black or like that type of look about it in terms of those things. Anyway, I only saw though 30 seconds as I was going down, and my cousins were watching this in their basement. And I was 5, and it freaked me the fuck out. And so Mac, the alien, is like this brown, has these like kind of big pointy ears, bug eyes, and things like that. And for the next 7 years, I had nightmares every night about a rabbit-looking brownish alien coming and attacking me and my entire family based off of like the 30 seconds I had watched of Mac and Me. Just horror every single night. Like, oh my gosh. Like if you ask like my mom or Seth, like tell me about Sam and Mac and Me, they will just either start laughing or go, oh my god. I like do not want to get into that. Yeah. So like I had from 30 seconds watching this. Here, I'll show you like what this looks like.
Yeah,
it's
let's see the trailer.
But I think you want to see the trailer here?
Yeah.
We can always cut this out here. So.
Yeah. We'll play
it's
the trailer.
First of all, I feel slightly better about this saying it. It has 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
That makes me feel good.
So it's not even a good movie. Should something be happening?
That's scary, first of all.
They were an average alien family living on their own planet. And we were an average family living on ours.
He took my coat.
I already had it. I didn't take it.
Oh, who's that actress? She was in everything in the 80s and 90s.
Like us, they found themselves in a strange new neighborhood.
Communing with your spirits.
Welcome to California, bud. We have a malfunction.
So I think this was one of the scenes right here.
Oh,
And there's like this dancing thing, which I think was supposed to be really cool, but looked menacing.
sometimes choreographed dancing can actually look more menacing than.
Yep, totally. Particularly to a 5-year-old when it's like aliens.
Oh,
See?
whoa, that is a weird looking alien.
The government wanted to capture him.
Government wanted to capture him.
Everyone was after him. And my brother Eric wants to make friends.
I want to see him.
Stuff this living thing into a vacuum cleaner. And then we blew him out again.
Now Eric is risking not only his life, but my life. Step back! To save him.
Is this Mac talking? He's got a very soothing voice.
No, Mac's the alien, I think.
Okay.
I told you they don't understand.
It's about more than friendship.
Oh.
It's about adventure.
Ooh.
Mac and me.
Show me Mac.
It's the alien that was
I
popping
mean,
out. Yeah, barely.
I wanted a better. Yeah, he was weird looking though.
Right, but like it's supposed to be like such a wholesome movie.
It
but
does
because
look very cutesy, very 90s,
right.
80s, very
80s,
yeah.
90s. I don't know, one of the two. Yeah, exactly. Like it looks like a lot of the movies we
the
grew
mom
up with.
seemed unfazed by the fact that her two sons were like, "We've got this alien," and that she's like,
No, she was like, "You
"Oh,
sucked
man."
a living thing up into the vacuum."
That's
Actually, pretty progressive. I gotta say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, we don't use the term alien in this
Yeah.
house. You. Do you know how much that vacuum cleaner cost me?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
more just of the one track. Like
yeah, I ordered that off the Oric infomercial 8 months ago. Finally came,
and now it's not working. Like,
unbelievable.
You boys.
Yeah, so exactly. That's what my nightmares are made of.
Oh man, what a good life!
7 years I
That's-
had nightmares from of that.
Honestly, that little when he peeked in and peeked out, that was kind of
No, absolutely. Like I feel like I'm justified in it. It's just embarrassing how justified I should be in that. Yeah, it's like like I gotta find this sometime. But I like my mom brought me this like little notebook of me in like second grade. I must have been 7. I had written down like little things like we're supposed to tell like about our family and our life and these things, and all of the things I wrote about were related to having nightmares about Mac and me.
Oh gosh.
I was like, it's like you can just see how anxious I was as a kid, just like boiling up in every single little thing there.
Did you ever see the movie The Witches?
The Witches. It sounds
They
familiar.
remade it recently with I think Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I might have seen it. Yeah.
So my mom back in the day, we would occasionally go to a Blockbuster movie rental, but she much more wanted us to get into going to the library. So if we read a book, then we could rent a movie from the library movie selection.
What a nice, wholesome NPR family.
Really, yeah, we listen to NPR too.
Yeah.
And she always signed us up for the reading programs, everything like that. But so I also learned getting older. I watched a lot of movies that like nobody else ever had heard of, like Lion Witch of the Wardrobe. I'd seen all of the original, old school ones.
That I can.
It's not that no one had access to, but like they weren't in a Blockbuster.
That's not what people are watching there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's better stuff.
Yeah. So we had rented one called The Witches, and she would always read the back and see like, is this appropriate for kids, whatever. So it says it's rated G, like good for kids. It's a Halloween, a little scary, but like yes, kids can watch this. So we're watching. I've rewatched this now a couple times because there's so many holes in it that I'm just like, this is.
Yeah,
like,
you need to kind of need to expose and see. Yeah,
I have a reason for bringing this up because you were saying you were scared for 7 years. So we get to this spoiler alert coming for a very old movie. Long pause. Okay.
That was cartoonish.
Well, has there not been enough of a pause?
Now it's
okay. So we are watching the movie and there's a scene pretty early on where all the witches gather and they look normal, and then the lead witch is like okay, take off your faces. And they peel their faces off. And I'm watching this
Yeah.
as a child, probably around the same age you were when you
That
saw.
would freak the fuck out of
I
me.
screamed and started crying and was like hiding behind this chair we
Yeah.
had. And my mom is like, what the hell is going on? And goes, is watching this, turns it off. She was furious with the library. These
Yeah.
poor librarians. And I don't know if they knew her, but she, like, as a family unit, we went there very frequently and she went there a lot. So if they didn't know her by name, there was definitely some recognition.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
you go to the same place and you do feel like you form a little bit of a connection, a community.
Yeah, totally.
She was just like, this is not a children's rated movie. Like, did you know that they peel their faces off? And I've gone back and watched it again as an adult. My roommate, back in the day, she also watched it as a kid. She said she made it that far in the movie and freaked out.
Yeah.
And at the time, we rewatched this movie for the first time as adults with our exes, and they had never seen the movie, and we were telling them how terrifying it was, how deeply it scared us. Of course, they watch it as grown adults, and they're like, what are you?
Yeah.
Scare it all. We're like, imagine being 7. They peel their faces off.
Yeah, and
it wasn't a cute, cartoony way.
No. I think that is probably one of the bigger problems that came from it. To tell you the truth, is like when you're 5 or 7 or whatever, and you're watching that type of stuff, and you're watching it from that era, it can look really kind of weird and then in turn horrific.
Yeah.
In a child's mind, in terms of that, you can
and
make
gross.
it seem more bizarre and kind of like fairied up and kind of like, kind of sparkles and dust and whatever and stuff now, where it makes it like less whatever. But then, they make it like gross. Like they make like it, the peel, and they make it like with like the little stringy kind of like, kind of like fibers like breaking apart. And it's like, you see that, it's like, this is too real. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It looked too real. So I get you. I had nightmares for a very long time. Not for years, but it did also, like, I carried that. Like, when I talked about it with my roommate, we were like, oh man, this movie was so scary. So the last movie I hate, and I just hate it because I had to watch it so much as a teenager, Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, I've never seen Night at the Roxbury.
You are missing nothing. So around the age when I was 12 to 13, that was the movie du jour. Someone would have a party, we'd all go to the house, have a great time, and they're like, oh, we rented a movie for everyone to watch. That's like the last thing, or it turned into a sleepover, one of the two, but like that was kind of the end of the night. So the first time we watched it, I'm like, okay, like, whoa, this is a cool little movie. Woo. Yeah, like, great, okay. 2 weeks later, another girl's birthday of the same friend group. Go, have a great time, end of the day, night. Oh, we have a movie to watch. Great. What movie is it going to be? Because we just watched a movie all together 2 weeks ago. Night at the Roxbury. Okay. All right. Second time. Okay. 2 weeks later. Another, or a month later. It doesn't matter. It was just like all year. It was always 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. Yeah.
You
Night
watched
at
it
the
26
Roxbury
times exactly that year.
Let me tell you, by the 5th time, I'm like, why are we still watching this movie?
Yeah.
Like, it's a very bad movie. And I think it was made intentionally to be bad.
Right.
If that's even a genre.
Yeah. No, it's like a parody or satire, I think, a little bit in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. But I watched it so many times.
It was just so dumb.
And I was a kid. It's not like, oh, just leave. Where am I going to go? How am I going to go?
How are you going to go?
I mean, it's like, oh, call your parents. Maybe they'd answer, maybe not. But like, parents, you send your kid off to.
You're not. Yeah, you're not leaving.
No, parents send your kids off to a birthday. It's like, yeah, I could reach them. I'm like, I wasn't in danger. I wasn't in trouble. I wasn't.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to watch the movie. Well,
I don't think I ever went home for a sleepover or something like that anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I hate it because I don't think it's good. And I watched a bad movie that was made to be bad way too many times in 1 year.
That makes sense.
And no one gave me an answer why we as a friend group that was the movie.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
It's brutal. Well, those are movies we hate.
Those are movies we hate and why we hate them.
Yeah.
And further proof why everybody's brains
work a little bit different.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we unpacked a lot there. A lot of trauma bonding. That's great.
That's why we can't stop this. It's just week after week of trauma bonding.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you want to continue trauma bonding with us next week, keep watching Sundays with Sam.
Because I'm your host, Sam.
And I'm also Sam. I've been here too.
All right, bye guys. Have a good one.